Folkestone Auto Supply, located at 4439 2nd Street North in Folkestone, Georgia, is owned and operated by the Dasher family. They have everything you need, bumper to bumper, for domestic and foreign car parts. Big truck operators, they have you covered as well with belts, seals, hoses, welding supplies, and so much more. They even have lawnmower parts, blades, and accessories. Stop by today and see the whole crew. Miss Joe, Pam, Little Sammy, Stephen, Dylan, and Big Sammy himself. It's Folkestone Auto Supply.
Folkestone Pharmacy and Electronics, located at 3885 Main Street in the heart of downtown Folkestone. They're Folkestone's original hometown pharmacy with 49 years serving the community. They have everything you need, including household items, prescription medications, high-tech electronics, and much more. Their experienced and friendly staff in the pharmacy and electronics department are ready to serve you. Folkestone Pharmacy and Electronics is a proud sponsor of Charlton Sports. Go Indians!
Good evening and welcome to the Coach Mack Show. I'm Adam Bell along with Charlton Indian head coach Rich McCorder. It's Turner County week here, Coach, and for once there's not a hurricane in the forecast. So no weather, so it should be a good night for football Friday night.
Yeah, we're glad to get past all that, all the weather and weather concerns and so forth. And the last few weeks, it seems like that's been real stressful, not only for everybody at our school, but everybody in the community. And hopefully we have that behind us for this year, and we can just get on with the year.
I think this is the first time in a month I haven't put by a game link, weather permitting.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right, let's get into this past Friday. Huge game for the Indians over in Atkinson County. I know you have a lot of stats and things you want to hit on, so if you want to take off with that.
Well, it's we're getting off with region play, and real excited that we were able to get off with I believe it was 46 to nothing win. Defense having the first shutout we've had, I think, in a couple years. That was really exciting for them and our defensive coaches. Just going over a few stats, first of all, with our offense. A.J. Bell just had a terrific night, attempted 20 passes, completed 15 for 378 yards and 4 touchdowns. That's just an incredible night throwing the football. He threw to 8 different receivers, which we like to spread the ball around. We don't like people thinking that we're just throwing it to one guy all the time, which we don't. We will spread it all over the field. Our leading receiver this week, it seems like we've had a different leading receiver each week, which is good, was Eric Daniels. Eric Daniels caught 6 of those 15 footballs for 174 yards and 2 touchdowns, which is just tremendous. And if you saw the game, you'll notice we've received a lot of pressure on the quarterback and sending more than we can block, and that's one of our check downs is to the running back, either all kinds of different places, either a swing route, shoot route, or a sit down route, right behind the linebackers, or we will also replace pressure on the edge and dump it to him. And AJ did a tremendous job checking down and finding Eric Daniels for all those yards right there. Also having a real good night catching the ball. I mean, Saquon Clark had 2 catches for 57 yards. And Brantley Sloan, I think, if I'm not mistaken, Brantley has a streak going, at least scoring a touchdown every game. And he caught 1 pass, which, he's a guy who usually catches a lot more than that, but he caught 1 ball for 75 yards and a touchdown, which is really good for our tight end. And senior Devin Snowden, who is one of our senior spotlights last game, caught 1 ball for 14 yards and a touchdown. So a lot of guys doing really good, catching the football and so forth. And we even had 2 other quarterbacks throw 1 pass, both of them completed. And so really glad we had other people able to do that. And on the offense, and the negative on the offensive side of the ball was we didn't run the ball real well. And the biggest reason with that is they sold out on the run. They weren't going to let us run the football. AJ did have some really big runs, but if you look at the stats, it don't come up that way because you take his yardage away when he gets a sack. So anytime if he runs the ball for 20 yards but takes a 10-yard sack the next play, he's only rushed for 10 yards. So, but still, even with that, he had 23 yards rushing on 11 attempts and a touchdown. Great play. I think it was a 3rd and long or maybe a 4th down play where he scrambled and made a great athletic play and got in for a touchdown. So he did a really good job there. We only had to punt the ball twice. They punted the ball 5 times. That's really good on defense. Speaking of defense, we held them to 8 first downs, and some of those may have been on penalties because we had a pile of penalties. We had 12 for 115 yards, and a lot of those, almost all those, were pre-snap penalties, which were on the offense, and the offensive line, illegal procedure, which is things we're working on hard. And they really, what was happening is we would do motion, they would yell motion or yell other things, and our offensive line's really trying to listen to AJ on the snap count, and because we do change up the snap count a lot depending on what play it is and where we're at on the field. And we did jump off sides, so we try to simplify that a little bit to try to take care of that so that don't happen again. But on the defensive side of the ball, we had 2 interceptions. Saquon Clark had an interception for a touchdown. Raekwon Anderson had 1 interception. We had 3 fumble recoveries, one by Sean Bolden, one by Malik Alderman, who's getting a lot more playing time on the defensive line, and also Travis Ray had a fumble recovery, and Travis was also our leading tackler with 5 tackles. We had a long list of guys with at least a tackle or 2 or 3 here and there. We're able to play a lot of people, but Travis led us in tackles with five tackles. So really pleased with the job we did Friday night. We came out, we show up, and it's just storming, lightning, and heavy rains, and so we're over here, 2 hours from home, just wondering how's this going to work out, and it finally passed over, and we didn't miss a beat. We still had our pregame. The same time we always have it, get right to the game. The field was slick. If you watch the game, you'll saw guys trying to change direction. They would fall down occasionally, but that's part of it. And our managers did a great job switching balls in and out and keeping them dry, and really, so those guys did a good job. When weather gets bad like that and the field gets wet, some of your most important people on the sideline are a group of 13-year-olds with towels around their neck. They have to keep them balls dry, so they did a good job of that. So it was a good night, really good night, good week of preparation, and now it's on to game 2 in region play, and a long 2.5-hour ride to Ashburn, Georgia, to take on Turner County.
I know it's a lot of fun for the kids in a game like that. Everybody got to touch the ball, it seemed like. I know you just mentioned that a while ago, and spreading the ball around. That's really not just from Friday. They've been doing that all season pretty much. A lot of different receivers, teams coming in thinking they can key on 1 or 2 guys, and there's several getting the ball.
Yeah, if you break our film down and look at us over these last 3 games, or if you want to say 4 with the scrimmage, you'll see that AJ has just done a great job of spreading the ball around, and which is really what we need to do. And he really, in a lot of situations, he doesn't have that primary guy where he's going to focus in on and throw it to him no matter what. He's going to take what the defense offers him. So he's done a really good job. Of course, second full year at quarterback, he's really seeing the field better and doing a great job right there. So he's a lot better quarterback than he was last year, which we expect that to be. And we have a lot of other guys. Our defensive line, for instance, those guys were all starters as sophomores last year, and this year they're doing a good job and getting better and playing better. So we're excited to keep on going. We got a extremely tough second region football game this Friday.
On the defensive side of the ball, the turnover ratio we've done already this year. I need Glenn Hughes for the official count, but I'd have to guess we're way ahead of last year's turnover total already.
Yeah, I think we have 11 total takeaways. That's fumbles and interceptions together, which in 3 games is really good. I mean, usually in a game you'll see 1 or 2 takeaways, and takeaways, what I mean by that is it's like I said, I think I just said it, it's fumbles and interceptions, and also making a team punt 5 times is also good. That tells you that you're stopping them on 3rd down, making them give the ball up on punts. So we only had to punt twice. They had to punt 5 times. So I was really pleased with that stat also.
All right, Coach, you ready to dive into some highlights?
Sure.
This is the first one I've got them organized as, as the game was progressing. This is the first one with AJ. I actually thought he was going to get sacked on this play. You want to talk about that one?
Well, I think AJ's confidence in eluding the rush is a lot better than it's been. He's really making plays above the X's and O's to where he believes, he ran track, did a good job in there, does a great job in the weight room. He's a better athlete than he was a year ago, and he makes great plays like that. And that's right there. Biggest thing with that play is confidence. He has confidence in his own abilities to avoid getting sacked, and he's making good decisions. And him running the football is a good thing for us. It really is.
I noticed here. I wished I had a pointer. I noticed even after the offensive line made the initial blocks, they came back like Tyler Kyree right there, came back for a second block.
Well, everybody keeps working. That's one thing we stress. Coach Murray stresses with the offensive line, keep working until the play's over. And our receivers do a really good job of working until the play's over. So real pleased with some of the things that they're doing also in the blocking game.
All right. We'll let that go one more time, let that complete. All right, here's the next one, Coach. This is again in the first quarter. Brantley Sloan on that 75-yard touchdown catch right down the sideline.
This was where, this is our vertical routes we had right here. We felt like we're getting press coverage and we're getting a rush, want to get rid of the ball quick. With the combination of those two things, we're going to go to our vertical game. And right here, of course, great hands, some of the best hands on the team. Brantley Sloan has, and he runs the ball. He runs better than what people think he does. But if you see right here, if you were at the game or even watching it on your show, you'll notice we had a long delay after this play because you'll see where Saquon Clark, number 3, peels back and makes a block, and they flag it because you're not supposed to block way behind the ball. This right here, though, was a necessary block, we feel like, and that's what we convinced them. Right there, if he wouldn't have got that block, Brantley might have got pulled down right there. The officials thought it was a block, behind the play. And then once they got together and talked about it and they realized, it probably was a block that needed to be made, they waved it off. And like I told the official then, I said, it's good to see an official wave a flag off because, we do make mistakes. On a Friday night, I average about 150 mistakes every Friday night. And if they just can wave off one of theirs occasionally, that shows that they're doing their job and they're doing the right thing. So we're glad the officials was able to wave that off.
He is really having a phenomenal season, isn't he?
Yeah, he is. He's such a weapon. He's just such a big target, and he's done a great job for us.
All right, this next one up, well, it's already started. I'll let it run out, and then we'll go to the next one. We'll be in the second quarter. I believe this is the pass to Devin Snowden in the corner. There we go. We'll let that run out. Here we go.
We have a combination route here. What we mean by combination route, you're in doubles, 2 receivers on each side, and just all sorts of. There's endless amount of different combinations we have right here, and it's a smash route by the inside guy and a sit route, a hitch route by the outside guy, and of course with Raekwon gets a lot of attention anytime he runs a route. The guy kept feeding back to Raekwon, and of course AJ threw a great pass, stuck it right on Devin, and Devin made a good catch and then got it right into the end zone. Devin's been a good football player for us this year. He does a great job blocking, and he comes up every game. He's going to come up with a good catch for us, and really well executed by AJ, well executed by Devin Snowden.
CSN photographer Tammy Bell back there in the corner. She didn't run from it that time, Coach. She stayed in the play.
It seems like she's everywhere. Every time you turn around, there she is. Sometimes, so sometimes on purpose.
She held strong down there. She usually both.
It's a sign of a good sports photographer whenever they don't shy away from a hit.
Here it is. Here's the other touchdown in the second quarter. I believe this one was to Daniels.
Yep, this is a side screen right here. Also, we give it a little bit of an option look. As you can see, the offensive line is downfield, doing a great job leading Eric into the end zone. It's been a good play for us this year. We can run it to both sides. We can even run it in the middle of the formation. There's different things we can do off of our screen package. We've really only touched on these particular screens, but there are other screens we have in it, and we're working them, and we'll be using throughout the year. But again, if you'll see the left tackle doing a great job getting out there leading, and also I think the right guards down the field also. Both of our senior spotlight players, Kyree Williams at left tackle and Patrick Milton at right guard, get down the field to lead the way. So really good job by those guys, and of course a great catch and great run by Eric Daniels.
His pull up. Third quarter right here, I believe this is another one to Daniels, I believe. His second, no, this is the pick, Saquon Clark.
Saquon did a great job. He broke down on the route, and we're in zone coverage right there, and he just did a great job of breaking on the ball and took it in the end zone. Just kind of the way you see it happen in practice, and the way you want it to happen. And Saquon's come up with some really big plays this year. He's done a good job. He's a sophomore. He's not a very big guy at all, but he's getting better, and he's doing a good job, and he's going to be a good football player for us for the next few years.
It looked like on that route, like the ATCO quarterback was expecting the wide receiver to stop, and he kept going on that route.
Yeah, there might have been some miscommunication there, but we'll take that. And you'll see our defensive guys try to get downfield in front and throw blocks.
Yeah, this is the second. This should be the second one to Daniels. Well, you're looking at Daniels' jersey there. Well, you can tell he had a busy night.
Yeah, he did. He playing both ways. He's going to play every play on defense. On offense, he can split time. He splits time with Michael Elliott. So him and Michael, are sharing the carries this year on offense, but on defense, both those guys are going to stay on the field at all times. This is just a swing pass because we're replacing the blitz. It's kind of you'll see the lineman downfield, so it's already kind of pre-called what we're going to do on that particular situation. And again, the biggest thing on the offensive side of the ball, you try to do what the defense allows you to do. Now, if the defense is just kicking your tail, there's not much you can do in a situation like that. But again, you're still going to try to work the defense according to what they're giving you and what you have available in your package.
Now that second effort out of there, he had several runs like that.
Yeah.
He thought he was stopped and down, and he's still going. Here's the final score. This is when Raquan was in on the spread.
Yep.
I believe this is the run up the middle by Raquan.
Yeah, we've done this, and it's just a little bit different look. All we're doing here is switching Raquan and AJ around. Raquan will probably be our quarterback next year, so if we can give him a few reps in game action, it's good. And Raquan, Raquan has a good arm. He can throw the ball, and actually we like throwing the ball to AJ. AJ's an excellent receiver, probably as good a receiver as we got, him and Raquan. But so it's a lot of fun just to switch those two around. That's all we did. The rest of the personnel's the same. The play calling's the same. And this was just a same side zone. Actually, no, this is just flat quarterback sweep right here. That's all that was. It wasn't even a zone read. Quarterback sweep, and Raquan just did a great job. Didn't even get touched, so it's got to be a great job by the offensive line also on that side over there.
All right. Coach, we're going to head over to our senior spotlight now.
Okay.
The first senior spotlight will be number 53, Patrick Milton.
Patrick Milton. People that have followed Charlton County football have heard the last name Milton quite a bit. We've had a lot of Miltons. some of them brothers, cousins, and what have you. When Patrick came to, you see on your graphic there, you know, Pat's only 5'7", and when he came to us, you know, he was a guy, he was an offensive line guy. He wasn't a running back or anything like that, but he probably wasn't even 5'7" when he came to us. But and to be honest with you, you see a freshman, he's probably 5'5", 5'6". He's a lineman kid and not very quick or anything like that. You're thinking, you're glad to have him in the program, but you don't ever think he'll get a chance to play. But Patrick just did a great job in the weight room and showed up at track practice all the time and got himself quicker and faster that way. And then all of a sudden, last year as a junior, you know, he's in the game and he can play. I mean, he's only 5'7", but he'll get underneath you and he'll run his feet, and he does a great job. So he started every game as a junior last year, and now as a senior, he's a guy that you can't imagine not having. He's the perfect example. If these younger kids will understand that if you come out for football, you know, as a freshman or hopefully junior high, and even though you're not very tall, very big, and you stick with it, you work and you stay in the program and work in the weight room, eventually you're going to get your opportunity to play. And that's exactly what Patrick has done. And all of a sudden now he's going to be a 2-year starter, high school football, and that's great. Great credit to him for sticking with it. And he's a great kid, really extremely likable. Just like all those Milton kids, is very well-mannered and great kids to be around.
All right. Patrick, congratulations. You're our senior spotlight on the first segment. Coming up right after the commercial break, Coach, we'll have number 54, Kyree Williams. Mm-hmm. We'll be right back.
Since 2009, Southeastern Automotive Group has been buying for and selling to most of the franchise dealerships in the area. What if you were able to bypass the big dealerships with the big markups? Buy direct from the supplier. Save thousands of dollars on your next vehicle purchase. Have a trade-in? No problem. With used vehicles in such high demand, Southeastern Automotive Group has dealers ready to buy your trade. If Southeastern Automotive Group doesn't have the perfect vehicle for you, using their vehicle locator program, they will have it shipped in without any hassle or haggling you hate. With over hundreds of thousands of cars available at auctions across the nation, your next vehicle purchase is just a click away.
Welcome back to the Coach Mack Show for our second segment and Senior Spotlight, Kyree Williams.
Kyree, if you're around our school and you talk to teachers and talk about kids that they really love, almost all of them is going to say Kyree Williams. Just a great kid to have in class. Teachers really, really love this kid. He really works hard academically, and he's doing what he can to try to make himself a college prospect. In the classroom, he's right now he's doing all the right things. In the weight room, he's strong. Of course, with a frame of 6'3", 310 pounds, I think he'd make somebody a really good offensive guard at the college level. For us, he's playing left tackle. Like I said, at the next level, more suited as a guard, I would think. But Kyree is just one of those kids who hasn't made any excuses throughout his life. He just has that great charm and attitude. He'll charm you and talk to you and everything. He has that great smile, and really a kid I'm really proud of to be around and to have a part of our program. He's one of our captains every Friday. We got 3 guys that that I feel are just guys that you need to have out there on the field for captains. And that's AJ and Kyree and Aaron Brazil, 3 kids that have just been steady for us, and you can really depend on each and every week to lead us. And Kyree's had some really good games. Again, I think a little out of position, but he's where we need him to play right now. But again, I just congratulations for him and his senior year. He's having a good one, and really glad we have him, and he's doing an awesome job for us.
I'll tell you, if you don't mind, I'm going to share a real quick story about Kyree way back in rec ball. When we had him, I put him at running back up at Pierce County. We were doing just 2 or 3 yards. We were just handing him the ball. 2 or 3 yards, and they couldn't stop him. He'd get 2 or 3. I actually had the Pierce County official come into the huddle. We were taking so long on the drive. He said, "You've got to do something different. I'm going to start throwing flags." We were just chewing clock. And Kyree just 2 or 3 yards at a time going down the field.
Yeah, great kid to be around. If you ever have a chance to meet him, talk to him, you'll really like that young man.
All right, let's move on now. It's a full-blown Turner week. I understand it's their homecoming out there. But you don't need that to motivate our guys. They've got the last 3 years worth of motivation for Turner County.
Well, Turner County is a team that we haven't done real well against. Last year at home, we played better against them. In Ashburn, we have played awful over there, and we've, as coaching staff, we've talked about is it we need to do something as far as pregame meal? Do we need to do something different, the way we travel? Or something, just anything to kind of shake it to where it just seems like we don't play well over there at all. But the thing is, like Coach Russ Murray, my assistant head coach, offensive line coach, Russ was saying, listen, we've traveled all over this state and have played at all kinds of different places and have eaten pregame meals on the road, at home. None of that matters at the end of the day. We got to show up and play, and he's exactly right. We got to show up and give a tremendous effort. One stat that doesn't show up anywhere, but it's the truth, and it's just for what it's worth. We're 3-0, which is great. We want to be 3-0, and I didn't know we could be 3-0 at this point, to be honest with you. But the thing is, the people we've beat, the 3 teams we've beat, combined record is 0-9. So we've beat 3 teams that haven't won a game yet, and you never know, they may not win a game. That's why you look at the power rankings, we're so low right now, is because our opponents haven't won any games. You need to have opponents that win games in order to move up the power rankings. All that changes this week. We're playing a winning football team. Turner County has tremendous athletes all across the board. Last year, they had a wide receiver and a defensive back signed scholarships to Florida State. They have a quarterback, number 3, Tyler Moore. Tyler Moore is probably the best athlete in our region, and he's a kid that I could see playing in a Florida State type situation also. He's not only he was first team all region last year, co first team all region last year with the Blankenship kid from Telfair at quarterback. So he's one of our region's best quarterbacks. He's one of the best athletes in the state. If you watch him on film against Telfair, he's just so smooth. You'll think that one particular play, he broke 7 tackles to get to the end zone. And it ain't the kind of tackles where he has to run people over. He just makes people miss. Just tremendous fluid athlete. Throws the ball really well, not just runs it. They have different guys. They have number 7, number 21 that plays halfback right next to him. And both those guys are 1,000-yard rushers. They get the ball. They can go. They have one receiver who's 6'5". This is a very good football team. Athletically, they're good enough to win every game they play. No question. They've already played and blew out Worth County. Tremendous program history over there. They played, I think it's the 3A or 4A top team in Crisp County, and played with them and did a great job against them. Crisp County has, I think, 5 Division I guys on defense, and this kid ran right past them. So they handled Telfair pretty easily. So it's going to be a game that we got to show up at their place, focused, ready to play, and just play the best we can. I think that, you want to say the emphasis is on the defense, but really, like I told our offense, we got to score. We can't be leaving points on the field. We can't be making it to the 10-yard line and coming away with no points. We have to score every opportunity we get. It may be a game where it's going to be a high-scoring game. If that's the way we got to win it, then you got to be ready for that. Our defense has really played well up until this point, but our defense hasn't faced a player like Tyler Moore. I mean, we haven't faced a guy like this yet, and we won't face a guy like this for the rest of the year probably. Their offensive line's big, thick guys, foot-to-foot splits, really just come out and hit you in the mouth. And defensively, they lost some guys off the defense from a year ago, but defensively, the defensive front, I think, is a really, really good defensive line. It's going to be the best defensive line we've faced yet. And like I explained to the kids, and I'm not trying to psych them out or psych them up or anything like that. It's just the truth. They see it's all on film. Region 2A play, I mean, last week we started Region 2A play with Atkinson County. Everything went great. Kids had fun. Everybody had a good time. But, Atkinson County, they're in a situation with a good new head football coach. They're building. They played a lot of young kids. Now we're into the Region 2A schedule to where, these guys will hit you right in the snot box if you ain't ready to go. I mean, it's just every week it's going to be physical. It's going to be you've got to play each and every play. This region of ours, people talk about the region over there with Valdosta and people like Lowndes and other regions throughout the state. I tell you, I know we're single A, small schools, but this region we're in is about as tough as it gets each and every week because you get done with Turner, you're turning around, you're going to play the #1 team in the state right here at Irwin County. You get done with Irwin County, then you got Tel Wilcox, who's won state championships. You've got go to Wilcox, to Rochelle. Then we got Telfair, which we haven't beaten I think a couple years, and then you finish up with a much improved Lanier County. So right now these games are going to start coming fast, and we told our kids, we're all going. You're going to get physically not feeling great. You're going to have to step up, and you're going to have to play tackle football these next several weeks, and it's going to be tough. But if you want to be a playoff team, this is where you got to make your ground to make a playoff run. And I'm really excited about going over there. I'm excited about seeing our kids have the opportunity to play a great football team and see how it works out. And the biggest thing, trying to get through our kids' head, all it is just same size field. It's kind of like the Hoosiers thing. It's same size field, different location. Let's just go out and play defense the way we've been playing, play offense the way we've been doing this, solid on special teams, and see if we can't hang with these guys and make it a 48-minute game and have a chance at the end to be there.
This is one of those ball games that creates the gray hairs from a coach's standpoint. They're always fast and they're well balanced. Do they have the tall receivers like they've had in the past?
They still do have a couple tall receivers. Like I said, one of them. He's at Florida State now, and one of the defensive backs who also played receiver. He's also at Florida State. I mean, any Class A football team or any football team in the state of Georgia or the country that sends 2 players to Florida State, and you look at Florida State's signing class, there's no other high school that Florida State signed 2 kids off of. So this is the kind of kids they have. They have your Florida State kind of kid, your kids that the Clemsons and Georgias and people like that are going to be over there looking at. So it's going to be a great challenge for us. The thing I told our kids, they're just kids like you. Let's go over and let's don't get to where we have anything to worry about. I said, I told them today, I said, what's there to worry about? Just go play the game of football the way you've been playing since you've been a little kid, the way we've been playing all this year, last year. Just play the game of football. And let's go get first downs and let's try to make them punt. We do things like that. At the end of the game, we'll be there. Last year, we hung around with them for quite a while and scored at the end with a chance to kick an onside kick to get the ball back, but didn't work out. A year before, we go over there, and I don't think we were ever in the game, not even from the very first play of the game it was over. This year, I hope we're able to go over and really compete with these guys. They have a new head football coach, Coach Hood, who's done a great job with these guys. Really impressed with the scheme, the way he's coaching it. And I know we'll have a big crowd over there, make the trip. We always do. And hopefully, if you can't make it, you'll watch it here. And hopefully we can compete with these guys and prove to ourselves that we're a better football team than we were last year. Prove to ourselves that we're a team that needs to be in the playoffs by being able to hang with a team like this.
I know in this region, you almost don't even get to savor a win from maybe about 12 hours, and you're immediately preparing for the next opponent. With our region too, it seems like.
I guess the older I've gotten, we weren't even off the field Friday night before I'm thinking in terms of, all right, we got Turner next. I've already seen him on film. I know a little bit about what's going on there, knowing that it's even before the game's over, I'm down in the side. We're up 46 to nothing. And I'm talking to Coach Murray. I'm saying, listen, we got to do this. We got to look at this and that for next week already. We're already talking about over the headsets and to one another about Turner County before the Atkinson game's even over with. And that's the way it is. As soon as this Turner game's over, we're going to get on the bus, and on the bus ride home, the coaches will already be starting talking about Irwin, and with our phones now, and with our computer, with Huddle, the program we have on Huddle, we'll be able to, on the way home, be looking at already breaking down the Irwin film on the way home on the buses on the 2.5-hour ride home. So there's not a lot of time to sit around and feel good or even feel bad. You kind of got to get over it one way or another. I hope the kids and I hope the fans have enjoyed the win last weekend and so forth, and getting to see the kids play so well. But for us coaches and now for the kids, it's time to turn the page and move on to Turner County.
As coaches, I know us as fans, we're always looking at rankings and this. As coaches, do y'all pay any attention to the power rankings, or just the game ahead, the game in front of you?
Well, the power rankings, I'll start taking a look at a little later, in the year. Last year, I didn't bother to look at them at all because we weren't even in the power rankings last year. But if we can keep doing some good things this year, and I'll start taking a look at them down the road, because you got to start looking at maybe possible matchups, and with the computer program Huddle, you can easily start gathering film on people and doing some things like that, kind of banking some film. So if you feel like you might be matched up with somebody, but we have a lot of football in front of us. There's no guarantee we'll even make the playoffs, and we're still with the schedule ahead of us. But if we can manage to get a few more wins here this year, then we have a good chance to make the playoffs, and I'll start looking at the power rankings. But thing is, I don't know where we're at in the power rankings at all, but I have had somebody ask me, why are we so low? Well, the reason we're so low is the teams we beat have no wins. And that's also a determining factor. In a perfect world, you're going to beat a bigger school that wins all their games, with the exception of the one you played them. You do that, you're at the top of the rankings. So that's kind of the way it goes. So when you schedule, you don't want to schedule a loss, a for sure loss. But again, also you got to be careful scheduling teams that aren't doing real well, because you don't get a lot of points off of that either. So if we're down in the polls right now, or down in the of course the polls I never look at. I mean, that's ridiculous. I mean, they don't matter for anything, and never have. But the power rankings, which determines your playoff position, I will start looking at that. Hopefully we can get a spot to where we can, be in the bracket of 24 at the end of the year, and get another game out of this.
Coach, this past Friday, Charlton, I think we had more people there than ATCO did. We need that kind of travel in more. Friday night kickoff, 7:30, right?
7:30, Ashburn, Georgia. Most people know where the school is. You get off the interstate, go over the interstate, go down a few blocks. It's going to be to your left. You turn left there, and it's just back in that neighborhood. Many of our people have been there before. They kind of have an idea where it is. And the comment you just made about it seemed like we had more fans than our home opponents did. Throughout these last 30, almost 30 years now, you know, you can say that about Charlton County fans. The parents are going to travel, no question. We have a tremendous band, a great group of cheerleaders. Their parents are going to travel. And you look in the stands, and I don't look in the stands, but my wife tells me and other people tell me, you'll see people in the stands who just love Charlton County football and like watching our teams play. And have been up there, no matter if we're playing in Lincoln County, Cartersville, or down in Belglades, Florida, you're going to see those people in the stands watching Charlton County football. There's been some people like W.D. Cruz. I don't know if people know him. He was actually our first Booster Club president when I was here. W.D. Cruz was. And W.D.'s sons have played for me. W.D.'s a guy that I think has watched every game that I've coached in. So there's people like that out there that just don't miss. No matter where we go, they're not going to miss. And I expect to have a big crowd there. Really encouraging our kids to come out and play loose, have fun, play fast, and try to make plays. And today we also talked about, especially the defense, when bad things happen, and bad things will happen when you're playing a team like this, just get over it as fast as you can and move on to the next play and try to create something positive on the next play.
Coach, what have we got on the schedule this week? I know you sent an email the other day moving around a lot of B-team games because of weather. Because
of the weather, we've had to shuffle the B-team. We've already had 3 B-team games canceled on us or moved on us because of the weather. I think this Thursday we're finally going to get a B-team game in at Camden County, 5 o'clock over there. Hopefully we'll have some folks, especially parents, travel over and watch the B-team over there. Our junior high does not play again until the 26th, and that's down in Callahan. So our junior high has 2 games left, one on the road, the 26th, down in Callahan, and then they'll come back and finish here against Camden on October the 3rd. And then, like I said, we'll have to, maybe something we can get something put up on your program to where kind of show you the revamped B-team schedule. But as far as this Thursday, we are going to Camden County High School. Oh, makeup game, the open date. Question is, what are we going to do about the open date? Right now, we'll have a schedule of 9 games, and you can play 10. Last year, we tried to play Camden to make up so we can get that 10th game. We have talked to several people, but again, with the playoff, with the power rankings, you've got to be careful who you schedule. And you'd like to schedule a big school that will come here and lose to you and then go win football games, but there's not a lot of those out there. There are some big schools that want to play to make up that game, but it may not be the best situation for us, and we got to do what's best for us. We're still talking to a couple schools. We'd love to host a game to get our 5th game out here on October the 6th, our open week, being that Hurricane had canceled the game with Savannah Christian. It will not be Savannah Christian. Savannah Christian they're in region play right now. We won't be able to make that game up, but it could be somebody else. So we've already talked to a few teams, and even a couple Florida teams are trying to work some things out. To be honest with you, I don't think it's going to happen. It's just things have not been going the way we want. Some of the teams we've talked to are just big schools who are playing well, that it's not safety-wise, it wouldn't be maybe the best thing for our kids, and or it's just a team that insists on us going there, and when we really need that home gate, so it's kind of hard to work that out. Last year it fell perfectly into place with Camden County on that date, but this year right now it's not looking good. Camden has an open date, but they have 2 open dates, one later in the month of October, and I think what they're going to do is they're going to play Glenn County for that, so that is no good for us with Camden playing them. But we've talked to some people, and right now it's not looking real good for a game.
All right. We got fundraisers as always. I know you've been pointing to my hat lately. Quarterback Club, go ahead.
Well, Quarterback Club, we've never had a lot of members with the Quarterback Club. we've always tried to get members. It's $50 for the family or individual, whichever way you want to look at it. You get a great new hat, and just a big thank you from us, Brian Hewley, myself. So we'd like for that, and also the plaques. We've actually got a few more people going to have plaques put up here in the weight room in the lockers to help pay off the lockers. We're still paying off the lockers, getting close, but we still got a little ways to go. Hopefully, with the festival coming up, we're going to have a quarterback club meeting a week from today. Next Tuesday, we'll have a quarterback club meeting, and we're going to talk about maybe doing a couple things with the festival, maybe having a spot and try to raffle off something and try to make a little money that way. But again, and we've spent a lot last week during the the hurricane week. We were only able to practice Wednesday and Thursday. We had a lot of kids with power out, and my big concern was how they've been eating. Have they been eating well and that sort of thing? So went ahead with the quarterback club. The first day of practice, went and got 150 cheeseburgers, and after practice, each kid had a chance to have 2 or 3 cheeseburgers before they went home. I felt like that was good, and just the reaction on some of the kids' faces were, with all the power that's been off, that maybe haven't got to eat something like that. So, and then on Thursday, I went and got 50 large pizzas downtown from Pizza Hut. Gave me a good discount on that, and fed all the kids pizzas on Thursday. So if anybody out there wants to help with us feeding the kids, I know the quarterback club, we try to get some parents involved on feeding kids. That's really a big part of our program. This week we have to feed them on the road. It's going to be expensive. We're going to have to go to a old time country buffet in Tifton and feed them for there. Quarterback club's going to pay for that. If anybody wants to help with that, that'd be great. After the game, of course, we're not going to bring a hungry kid home. We're going to feed a kid after a game, and if anybody wants to help with that, we'd appreciate that also. So again, there's opportunities for people to help us out. We appreciate it. I know our kids appreciate it, and just we'll take help from anybody if they want to come up and help us. But again, hopefully have a big crowd, and hopefully take this 3-0 record and build on it, and hopefully get a playoff spot.
All right. I know we've packed a lot in tonight. We went a week, hurricane canceled the show and everything else last week. Anything else you want to hit on before we go away?
I think that's enough. I want to go home and eat dinner.
All right, Coach. I appreciate you joining us as always. We obviously wouldn't be a Coach Mack show without Coach Mack.
That'd be Coach somebody else, but
y'all have a great week. We'll see you in Turner County, 7:30. Y'all travel, we're webcasting, but we want y'all up there. Pack those visitor stands, and we'll see y'all Friday night. Safe travels. Have a great week, everybody. Thank you, Coach.
Thank you.